Nick's trying to blow this one. Let's hope they do.
Nope, there's a sub.
Oh, you already got one.
Stand up, New York Giant fans. Let me just pop Baddog in here, and there he is. What is going on, Mr. Baddog?
What's up? It feels like I haven't seen you or talked to you in like a year, even though we like talk every day, but still.
It's been like 4 days since we've been live, but what am I doing here? I got my, oh my God, hold on 1 second, guys. I don't know why. All right, we'll just leave it like this. Whatever, it is what it is. I don't know.
The phone up. Yeah.
Yeah, the set.
I'm going to hear this all night.
The setup went away. I usually got the set. I had it up, and it went away, but whatever, it is what it is. They see us. That's all that matters.
It's the content that matters. The beautiful faces in the Masturbate 8. Coming up tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night on this channel. I see Kyle's in the chat. Dire Giants fan. Scott, Dylan, MH, Sentinel, Big Blue, Meet the Mets, New York Mets, Omkar, Sperm Cell. So we got some big news today in the football world. Of course, this is a Giants show. You're a huge Kyler Murray fan.
Yeah.
He went and he measured himself today.
He did.
207 pounds.
Beast.
9.5-inch hand.
That's bigger than my shits.
Yeah.
Mine are 9 inches. I got big mitts.
And
got bigger hands than me.
We didn't see that coming, and the quarterback who I think hurt his draft stock the most was Drew Lock, because he measured with 9-inch hands, which was by far the smallest of any of the quarterbacks.
That's a small quarterback hand. Maybe my hands are bigger than 9 inches then, because you saw how I gripped that football.
Oh, it was impressive.
Maybe they're 10. I don't know. I haven't measured them, and I don't think I've ever measured my hands.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to do it. What do you do?
I think it's from there to there, there to, I don't know exactly how to do it. Maybe there to there. I don't know how the hell you measure your hands.
Yeah, I've never thought about it, but yeah, so that was the big storyline today. And I think Haskins measured at 6'3", 233. No surprise there. I think he had 9 3/4 hands. And all the other quarterbacks had good measurables except for Locke. I think he hurt his stock a bit.
Combine will tell us a lot about Drew Lock anyway. But the Kyler Murray thing, again, I did a video on it, and everybody knows how I feel about Kyler Murray. I mean, I don't care about his size anyway, but everyone was saying, oh, the guy's 5'7", that 5'10's not real. He's 5'6", he's 5'6". I mean, that makes sense.
I thought he was 5'9". I didn't think 5'7".
I actually thought he was 5'9".
Yeah.
He measured at 5'10", which he's Russell Wilson's size. Russell Wilson's 5'10 and a half, 212. Kyler Murray is 5'10 and an eighth and 207. Now, I do want to say something about the combine. And a part of me thinks, and again, I could be wrong, but this is just something I kind of brainstormed because I'm trying to figure out why Kyler Murray is not participating in any of it. He's, as far as I know now, he's not throwing, he's not running, he's not doing any of the drills. He's going to wait till Pro Day, which is March 13th. Part of me thinks he bulked up to weigh 207, and he's going to drop 8 to 10 pounds, so he'll run faster. I feel like he don't want to run at 207 because he won't be as fast. But he's going to drop 10 pounds in 2 weeks, which they can do at that level because they have nutritionists.
Well, it's something it's what boxers do. To meet weight, a lot of times they'll lose weight and then they'll put on 10 pounds before the fight.
So
he's doing the reverse. Yeah,
I think that has a lot to do with it. I think he bulked up, so he weighed more. And I bet you that when he does a pro day, I don't know if they measure him at the pro day. I don't think they would. But I bet you he's about 195 again.
Yeah, you're probably right. And I didn't even think about that, but you're probably absolutely right about that. He's probably going to drop 10 pounds before the pro day, so he runs a 4.240 or whatever it is, a 4.3.
He ran a 4. Last I saw, he ran a 4.3840 or 4.37. So faster than Michael Vick or right around Michael Vick's speed. It's ridiculous. He's ridiculous.
It's very fast.
We know he can run.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to tell us what he can.
I still don't like the fact that he's not throwing in the combine. And I know we've all seen the highlights, we've seen the clips, but it just shows to me a lack of confidence that he's not willing to go up against the other guys. I don't like that. I don't like seeing that. I didn't like it when Darnold did it last year.
Yeah, I don't understand why he wouldn't throw. I mean, he can throw. We know he's got a rocket arm. I mean, a kid can throw the ball 65 yards in the air on a flick of a wrist. I don't know why I don't throw. I don't know the reason behind any of it. I don't know why Darnold. I don't know why Darnold didn't do it last year. It obviously didn't hurt his draft stock. He went third overall.
Yeah. Well, I think Darnold made more sense because I think he was. I mean, they've been talking about Darnold for a year leading up into the draft. He was like the Andrew Luck. So to me, he had nothing. He could only lose from participating in the combine last year because he was already at the top. Kyler Murray to me is nowhere near the top. He's all over the map. Some people think he's at the bottom of the first, mid-first, beginning of the first. So nobody knows where he's going. So I think he could help his stock. So that's why I don't understand why he's not partaking in it. Darnold to me made more sense.
Yeah, it's a strange thing. I when I first read that, I was disappointed because I mean I want to watch him perform to come. Now I'm going to watch all the quarterbacks anyway because obviously this is something that the New York Giants need to look at. And I'm going to look at Dwayne Haskins, I'm going to look at Drew Lock, and I'm going to look at Will Greer, and I'm going to look at Daniel Jones, and I'm going to look at all these quarterbacks to see what they have. I just wish I was watching Kyler Murray in that. I'm going to have to watch the Pro Day instead, but it's just strange. A guy that is, even though he does measure 5'10", it's still short. I mean, it's not like he measured 6'2". So he still has to. I feel like you. He still should prove himself in the combine. We know he can run. If he wanted to not run,
yeah,
who cares?
That's the event that we don't need to see.
I think he needs to throw because you have to throw in the NFL.
Right. We already know he could run. He could pass that. I don't care about his 40 time. We all know he's the quickest quarterback of anyone in this draft by a mile. So yeah. I don't care about. By the way, thank you for the subscription again. I just started another horn honk. But no, I agree with you. I think he should throw. And a lot of college players play better, and people know this at their pro day because I guess they're accustomed to the environment. It's more controlled. I wish you would have partaken in the events at the combine. Yeah, because. I was looking forward to it. I wanted to see what the kid had, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm reading Mets comment. Yeah, he's gonna do everything in his pro day, Mets. I mean, and that's at Oklahoma. And maybe he is. Maybe he's just more comfortable at Oklahoma. Maybe he's just more comfortable there. I listen. To me, I want to see him perform at the combine because I just want to watch it. I want him to. There's so many doubters about Kyler Murray because again, they don't watch him play. They look at the stats. Oh, he had 1,000 yards. Right, he's a running quarterback. He runs. He's not a pocket passer, but he is a pocket passer. That's the thing. He does throw from the pocket. He does go through progressions. It's not like first read, not there, I'm going. He doesn't do that. He is a pocket passer all the way around. He doesn't have passes deflected at the line of scrimmage. He's got that Pat Mahomes. He can go sidearm. He can go overhand. And again, Rover Sports did a great video on Kyler Murray there.
I knew you'd like that video.
Oh, I did. I wanted to tell Rover greatest video I've ever seen. I did though, but I know Rover flip flops a lot. But as long as he's on that Kyler Murray train,
yeah, well, he's going to be on the Kyler Murray train. I think for the foreseeable future until the experts all say Kyler Murray should go first. Then he'll be on the next guy's train.
Yeah,
he always likes to be the contrarian, the guy that nobody's looking at. So we'll see. I think that's why he's so anti-Haskins, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I was surprised he was so anti-Haskins.
Yeah.
I mean, you know me. I'm pro Murray, but I'm not anti-Haskins either.
Right. Well, I think what he questions about Haskins is not so much his ability. It's he doesn't like the social media stuff.
Yeah. That's what I got.
Yeah, he thinks that he's got his head in the clouds. He's not thinking about football, and he looks at Murray as the complete opposite. And it's, I guess, a fair criticism. He's on Instagram all the time trying to promote himself to the Giants, but I mean, that's today's generation. I mean,
Murray does have a Twitter account. I follow him, but he really doesn't post a lot. So he is on there, but he doesn't post a ton of stuff. So
yeah, I don't read too much into that, to be honest.
I just wish he was in the combine. That's the one thing I just don't understand. But combine aside, we all know I want Kyler Murray on the Giants. Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, there's guys in here that are Cowboys fans. Duke Bothers is one. I see him in there, and of course Techie, and they both said, and Duke Bothers is a Sooner fan, so he's gonna be biased like I am. But Techie's a Texas Tech fan.
Yeah.
And he says, I don't want Kyler Murray on the Giants. There's guys that watch him play say, I don't want that guy on the Giants because they know.
Well, he's electric. Everybody knows that. He's electric. Okay, so real quick, some questions. When's the Combine? The Combine actually started today, but the physical part of it starts tomorrow, and I'm going to be streaming that. I don't know. I think it starts at 9:30 a.m., but I don't know.
It might be 9.
I work at 12:30, so I'm going to stream from probably 9:30 to 11:30, 11:45. And I'll be doing that Friday, Saturday, and probably Sunday.
Yeah. I doubt I'll stream it on Saturday, but I am definitely rewatching it.
Yeah.
So I'll probably just swing in your stream and hang
out for a couple hours, whatever.
Saturday, that's Lakers Suns.
There's the new Laker dog over here.
Yeah,
it's his new favorite team. It's his new favorite team.
At least the Knicks blew it. They're up big. And they're losing by 4 to the Cavs.
There you go.
Tank for Zion.
This would be what? Thank you so much, One Giant Rebuttal. I appreciate that. I'm late. Never got I don't get the notification problems. Nobody's getting notified. To my videos today, I think they got notified because I got 60 views right away on all of them. So I was like, okay, the notifications are working.
Yeah.
And now people tell me they're not working again. I don't get it.
It's so weird.
Yeah,
I don't get it either.
Yeah, but I just want to say
aggravating.
It's very aggravating. Very aggravating. Anthony Simonelli says, "Damn, and I'll be swimming and making." Okay, Anthony Simonelli. Well, good luck with that. I can relate for sure.
All the time, Knicks. Then my Mets. I'm a Knicks fan. The Lakers thing is a joke because I stream a lot of Lakers games. They start at 10:30. Everybody's sleeping. It just fits my schedule.
Right.
Which, by the way, why don't I have my Giants hat on today? Got the Knicks hat on.
By the way, I just want to say thank you.
I get to see my bald head for a second. Woo!
Thank you, Mix Too Strong. We appreciate that. He says, love the show. Keep it up. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
I mean, the bald head looks adorable. I would say that 9 out of 10.
I think it's great. I masturbate 8. I had to clean it up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's tomorrow, of course.
I had to clean it up.
Big event for our Talking Nonsense stream. But, yes, so we were talking combine. We're talking quarterback. And, of course, now I'm going to say this. We've been saying now for weeks. I mean, I'm not really leaning one way or the other, but I think we both agree that defense is just as important, if not more important, than the quarterback position in this year's draft. So,
yes.
So it's going to be interesting to see what the Giants do, especially now that the Jets have switched from the 4-3 to the 3-4. Because we all thought, with the Jets being in the 4-3, they have no need for Josh Allen. Maybe Josh Allen flips to 4 or 5. Maybe somebody, maybe they trade down. Now I think the Jets are taking Josh Allen if he's there. So now I think that because they stayed with the 3-4 with Greg Williams. So now I think we know the top 3. And then it's just a matter of, do we want Farrell? Do we want Devin White? Do we want a quarterback? Do we want Polite from Florida? He's another pass rusher that's been showing up draft charts. I don't think we're going all line. I think it's going to be one of those pass rushers or it's going to be a quarterback. And I think that at this point is what we're looking at, and that is who I'm going to be looking at the combine. Those pass rushers and the quarterbacks.
Yeah, definitely, because they're the 2 biggest needs for us. I mean, we obviously need to fill the offensive line. There's a lot of talk about Darrell Williams that we're going to sign, and we probably are. That shores up the right tackle spot. Then we're really just looking for a center. But I think you get a Darrell Williams, your offensive line is starting to look pretty damn good. But, again, we've talked about it before. Even with how bad our offensive line was, Beckham being hurt for the last 4 games, Eli not having a great year, we scored the most points in the NFC East. But we got killed. And you and I know we streamed a couple games together where we blew games at the end. And if we hold on to those games, we get a couple. We're 9-7. I mean, they were really that close to being 9-7.
Yeah.
We need a pass rusher. You need that guy
to close out a game.
Right, to close out a game. Yeah. You need the guy to get the strip sack fumble.
Yeah.
You need the guy to end the game.
Having a player like that is essentially having, as we always go back to baseball, having a lockdown closer like a Mariano Rivera. They close out the game. And we had JPP was really the last one that we really had that was very good, for that 2-year spell, 3-year spell, whatever it was. But we have not had a guy like that since then. And that has been by far the biggest need that we've had. And in 2016, we got after the quarterback. Not as good as we had in the past, but that's why our defense was so successful. We were able to get after the quarterback. Last 2 years hasn't been that way. And when you can't get after the quarterback, it makes everybody else look worse. We always say that. So that is by far the biggest need on the defensive side of the football to me. I don't want him taking Greedy Williams. I don't want him taking a safety, a corner. Stick to your guns. Get a pass rusher, or you're going quarterback. To me, that's it. Those are the only 2 options. Unless you trade down, I don't think an offensive lineman, I don't think there's a guy there that's worth taking at 6.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I think pass rusher is 8. You and I have talked about how the desperate need for a pass rusher that both of us said we would trade up to get Josh Allen. I mean, that's how bad we need a pass rusher. We just need that guy because, again, with a weak secondary, it just makes it even weaker. An average secondary can look like a good secondary if you're getting a pass rush.
Right.
If a quarterback's got time to survey, receivers got time to run around, you're either number one, they're either going to get free and they're going to get a big play. You're going to hold them. You're going to interfere with them. You're going to do a lot of different things. But if you got a good pass rush and that quarterback don't have time to survey the field or go through all of his progressions, your secondary can hold up for 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Right.
Not 7,
right.
So if there's no pressure on a quarterback, he has a clean pocket to step up in, he's going to kill you. I don't care if he's an average quarterback. An average quarterback will look like a Hall of Fame quarterback against the team that can't get to the quarterback. And a guy like Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady in 2007, as great as he was, greatest
didn't have time. Didn't have time. Yeah.
The Giants sacked him 5 times and knocked him down another 10 times. They scored 14 points.
That's how you win football games at the end of the day, is getting after the quarterback and protecting yours. That's how you win football games. But, oh, wow, I had something good in my head. I forgot. Oh, damn, I forgot it. Whatever. We'll get back to it. I saw that somebody, I think it was Sexy Goat, asked about Witten. That, of course, was a big storyline today with the Cowboys. He's a Cowboy fan, but they are in division, so it is a storyline. Jason Witten coming back to play for the Cowboys. Do you think it's going to have a huge effect on the field? I personally don't, but I think he is a leader, and I think, as I said in my video, I think he's going to fill in for that Cole Beasley role, that slot-type receiver, obviously from the tight end spot, but the short and intermediate routes, I think he'll be his check-down target. So I think he'll be useful there, but I don't think he'll be like what he used to be. He's 37 years old, and he looks like he's running in quicksand, but he can still block probably, and he still is always a thorn in the side to the Giants.
For me, I said this to Cowboy fans, and it didn't matter. They ended up winning the division anyway. But the one thing I really said they were going to miss about Witten was his leadership.
Right.
I don't think you can put a number on the leadership that he brings. I mean, he's killed the Giants for years, but he's always been a class act. He's one of the very few Cowboys that I really respect and admire, because I don't, Giants fans don't feel that way about Cowboys players. But I have the utmost respect for Witten. But him coming out of retirement, I don't know. I just kind of think it's nonsensical. I don't know how that could possibly help the Dallas Cowboys. I don't see what that does. They never won a title with him there. He's, like I said, he's 37 years old. He's a year removed. He did not play last year. I don't really know what he brings. I don't know if I don't really know who the Cowboys tight ends are. I know Jarwin, because he killed us.
Jarwin, that last game of the year was ridiculous.
He killed us.
Yeah.
But I just don't. I don't really know if that's going to be a big impact or not. I can't. I mean, I guess only time will tell.
I think it's equally the reason they brought him back. I mean, first off, he's a horrible broadcaster. So probably Jerry Jones said, "I can't listen to you anymore on Monday nights. We got to get you back on the football field." But that point aside, I think a lot of the reason why they brought him back was because just as important, I think, his leadership ability as his play on the field. I think he's almost going to be like a coach in a uniform, in a way.
Right. I was just going to ask you that. I was just going to say, why wouldn't he just come back and be part of the coaching staff? Why does he have to play?
Right.
Well, let the young guys play. The Cowboys are a younger team. Why? I don't understand. I just don't understand why he would come back at this time. It's a weird decision by Jason Witten to come back and want to play. Well, again, why don't they hire him as a coach, tight ends coach? I mean, why don't they just do that? I don't know who their tight end coach is, but why not hire Witten as a tight ends coach?
That's a good point. Like I said, I think he could play a role, though. I think with Beasley gone, Beasley, of course, was very important to that team. They didn't use him, I guess, as much as he would have liked last year, but in years past, he was that safety valve for Prescott, and with him gone, they may need a player like a Witten to catch those balls, those 3-yard routes over the center. So maybe that's the role they're going to use him in.
I guess.
He'll probably kill our Giants. We know that. The Sports Fury's in the house. What's going on, Sports Fury?
There they are.
Everybody do me a favor and sub them up. And I hope my channel's not getting flagged. I've been hearing all the talk. I'm not going to worry about it. Sub them up.
I don't know what that was all about. It was a weird thing went on over there today.
And what's going on, Mike Nixon? Thank you for tuning in the stream. And if you haven't done so, please go into the description and check out this man's channel. He's doing a great job over there. Always love working with him. We're talking some Giants football tonight. Tomorrow will be the nonsense stream. And tomorrow, I should announce, I was going to put in the community notes, and I mentioned it briefly a couple days ago, but tomorrow is going to be the giveaway. I'm going to be doing a giveaway for my 4,000 subscribers. It's a week late, but tomorrow I'm going to be giving away a fitted hat at some point during that nonsense stream. So be sure to tune in for that, as well as, of course, the big tournament we got coming up.
Huge tournament. Huge.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of pressure.
And I heard Josh was campaigning, by the way.
I can't even campaign. Oh, well, I said I got to cut my hair, clean it up, we'll shave, we'll hit the gym, we'll do everything we can. I've done a lot of scouting work on Philly 500. A lot of game film. I think I'm ready. But I got to get to the hardcore floor. I got to get there. Yeah. I got to get there. Got to happen.
Fox 87 says, what should the Giants draft? Well, we pretty much just said that, Fox 87. Pass rusher or quarterback. If you're talking later rounds 4 to 7, I think the targets are going to be getting depth on the offensive line, getting some players in that secondary, maybe getting a wide receiver, because a guy that could fill in for Shepard after next year. I fully expect Shepard to be gone when he hits free agency, because when you're paying Beckham $20, I don't think they're going to have enough cap space to pay Shepard $8 or $10 million. You can't afford to be paying your top 2 wide receivers in this league $30 million when the cap's $190, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I agree with you. They can't afford them both.
Yeah.
They can't afford them both.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is...
Thank you so much, Mustard Boss. He says, Dilly. Dilly,
I don't have
dilly.
nothing down. Oh, yes,
I got water. I'm not even drinking beer, but dilly.
Dilly.
Dilly. I see Sinclair's in the chat. What's going on? I love Sinclair. Chris Sinor's in the chat. Dallas still not winning the Super Bowl. What's going on, Sarah? Dallas still not winning the Super Bowl. They're not my pick. They definitely have a chance, though. I wouldn't rule it out.
Who?
The Cowboys. I'm not picking them.
To win a Super Bowl?
I'm not picking them. But I would say they're probably one of the 4 favorites out of the NFC.
Nah.
Going in, you don't think so?
I never win with Dak Prescott. That'll never
Well,
happen.
tell me 4 teams better in the NFC right now.
The Rams.
I agree.
The Bears.
Yeah. The Saints.
Uh-oh. The Saints. I mean, they lost. They beat the Seahawks, but I don't think Dallas is better than Seattle. I don't think Dallas is better than Green Bay with a healthy Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Dallas is better than Philadelphia. What's that?
I think Green Bay's in a lot of trouble.
I don't think they're much better than Atlanta. I don't think they're much.
Atlanta's an interesting one because they're going to be getting a lot of pieces back. Atlanta's an interesting one.
I don't think they're. Yeah. I don't like any teams in our division. I don't think any team in our division is ready to make a Super Bowl run. I just don't. I don't think there's a real. They're the most complete team in our division. I think.
Yeah, but I will say this. I will say this. I don't think they're far and away the favorites. I think if the Giants address some needs, if things broke right for them, they could win the division. I'm not saying they will. I'm not picking them. But I don't think they're that far away as some people may think, if they could address some of their holes.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are the best team in our division. I just don't think they got a lot of work to do before they get to the Super Bowl. I just don't think they're doing it with Dak Prescott. I don't think he's a.
I agree with you. I would never pick him with Dak Prescott, but I am.
And what are they doing with DeMarcus Lawrence?
I think they're going to franchise him.
So I don't know, and they're going to run out of money. I mean, they're going to have to pay Elliott. They're going to have to pay Prescott, and they're going to pay. Then what are they going to do with DeMarcus Lawrence? Their window in Cooper, right? Because he's a free agent at the end of this year. Right. So their window is like this. They better win it this year, or they're in trouble.
And you're speaking of cap problems. Nobody has more cap problems than the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, they got a lot of
the least amount of cap. They're negative right now. I believe. They said that they're not bringing back Brandon Graham, so that opened up some cap space. But
Nick Foles is gone. I think that puts
the positive. Right. But they don't. They don't have a lot, and they're gonna. Thank you so much, One Giant Rebuttal. I appreciate that. Bad Dogs, where are the rolled golds? One Giant Rebuttal.
Bad Dog don't do the rolled golds because Bad Dog is cut out the junk food. We were getting into March, so I'm very strict to my diet now. That's why there's not as much beer in my streams. Why there's no more junk food.
Instead of the rolled golds, he's got the Moss. He's got Bert.
Bert took over, and people like Bert. So Bert is. I mean, he's got an account named after him, for crying out loud. So I mean, and that's all thanks to Sperm Cell, who's in the chat.
Oh yeah, Sperm Cell.
Yeah, he told me I look like Bert.
Oh, that's right. That was Sperm Cell that did that.
I told my wife. I told Mrs. Bad Dog, and she comes downstairs and goes, "Here, I got you, Bert," because someone said you look like him. Put him in your streams.
Daniel Rax, I would never do that trade. He says Russell Wilson for 3 firsts and a second. Would be
no way. No quarterback's worth that.
And I always say, somebody brought this up last time. You also have to factor in the cap effect bringing a guy like Russell Wilson would have on this team. He's
going to get $25 million a year.
More than that.
His franchise tag is 31.
Yeah, so he's going to get 31, and then he's going to sign a deal where he's making upwards of 40, like high 30s probably. That's what quarterbacks make. That's the going rate nowadays. $35 million probably is what he'll make once he gets.
Listen, all I'm going to say is if the Giants want Russell Wilson, draft Kyler Murray. There you go. It's a faster Russell Wilson.
The best way to go about building a team, especially the quarterback position, is through the draft. Because you pay him pennies on the dollar. So now you're paying Russell Wilson 4 times what you'd be paying a rookie quarterback, and you have no money to fill in your other holes. It's thinking backwards. That's exactly what you don't want to do. That's what happens to these teams when they pay these quarterbacks. With Flacco, with Eli. Look what happened to the Giants and Ravens rosters.
Right, and I was going to say, it's not like the Giants are a quarterback away from winning the Super Bowl. If the reason we were losing, like Jacksonville, if Jacksonville wants to go and pay Nick Foles, which I want to get into that too in a second because there's just a lot of talk, and I just want to get your opinion on this thing with Nick Foles. But if they want to go after a Nick Foles, I think they're very close, and I think Blake Bortles was their biggest problem. I don't think he can play. I don't think Blake Bortles is good. Obviously, Leonard Fournette being injured did not help them, but you get a healthy Leonard Fournette, you put a Nick Foles in there, and then, you got that defense. Jacksonville's tough. I mean, Jacksonville will be a really tough team. The thing I want to say with Nick Foles, now I have not seen anything. I don't know if you saw my tweet today or not.
I did.
I've not seen anything from the New York media about Nick Foles. I've not seen anything come out of the Giants camp, the Giants, whatever. We're interested in Nick Foles. We're looking at Nick Foles. We're considering Nick Foles. But yet everything coming out of Philadelphia is, the Giants are interested in Nick Foles. The Giants are very interested in Nick Foles. Where the hell is this coming from? Why is one media market talking about Nick Foles and the Giants themselves are not committing at all? Because, again, we don't have the money to sign Nick Foles.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
And the Giants have basically come out and said, no, not basically, they have come out and said Eli Manning is the quarterback next year. So if Eli Manning is going to be the quarterback next year, there's no chance we're bringing in Nick Foles. You can't pay Eli Manning $23 million a year and then pay Foles $25. You know?
No chance.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. So I just don't know why these stories are coming out of Philadelphia. I think the Philadelphia, and if you watch a fan base, it's kind of torn.
Right.
Some guys are really ticked off about it. I don't know why. Carson Wentz is their guy. You gave up how many picks for Carson Wentz?
3 firsts. I could be.
You gave up that many picks for Carson Wentz, and you also they gave up picks to move from 13 to 8 with the Dolphins, or 13 to 7, and then they gave up more picks to go from 7 to 2. So they gave up a ton of picks that year to get Carson Wentz. So you're not going to keep Nick Foles there long term when you got Carson. It doesn't make any sense, but. I think the Philadelphia market likes to have that animosity within the fan base. I think they're enjoying that. So they know that will get these Eagles fans, oh, God, not the Giants. We don't want them on the Giants. Well, guess what, Eagles fans? We don't want them on the Giants either. Okay?
You're right. I want them nowhere near the Giants because I'm never for signing free agent quarterbacks, especially one like him. A guy like, if a superstar at the market, I'll think about it. He's a journeyman quarterback who had one good playoff run. That's the way I look at it. And he could be decent, but not a guy that's going to put you over the top. He's just not. And like you said, we're nowhere near being in that position anyway. The Vikings were last year, and look what happened with them. Everybody said they're a quarterback away. This team's going to win a Super Bowl. I was stupid enough to pick them. And look what happened.
Did you go to the Super Bowl?
I picked them to go to the Super Bowl preseason.
I had them going to the NFC Championship game against the Saints.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. I said they're going to run away with that division. They're the best team. They just got Kirk Cousins. It's a big upgrade from Case Keenum. They're one of the favorites. I mean, I had the Saints going to the Super Bowl, but I thought the Vikings would be right there with them, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, I had Vikings-Chiefs actually at the beginning of the year, and Chiefs got close, but the Vikings were a complete disaster.
Yeah.
And that just shows you. Everybody said, "Oh, they're only a quarterback away." They got worse. They got worse.
So, they got worse.
You know,
and Kirk Cousins was terrible.
Yeah.
And they gave him all that money was guaranteed.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. And I don't want to go into baseball, but of course, real quick, 2 minutes. You're talking about guaranteed. That Bryce Harper contract, 13 years, $330 million, and I don't know the exact specifics, but there's a clause in the contract where they can't get rid of him, right, or something like that.
No trade. He's got a no trade clause. He's got a no opt out clause. He wanted the no opt out. He chose not to opt out. He wanted that in there. Bryce Harper. Why would he opt out?
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous contract. Now I saw your video, and there's a guy in there, and I laughed, trash talking New Yorkers saying you're jealous. Listen, and again, I'm a Yankee fan, so I don't care what the Phillies do. They got nothing to do with me. The Yankees are saddled with a contract like that in Giancarlo Stanton. 13 years is way too long. Way too long.
And in baseball, if they get hurt, they get paid.
They get paid. And the thing is, I'm a Yankee fan, so obviously we were the team that gave up these massive contracts. And if George Steinbrenner was alive today, Machado and Harper would both be Yankees. I guarantee. He would have never let them walk. He would have brought them both here. Yankees did not. The misconception about the Yankees is they bought their championships. They bought all their championships.
No,
well, 2009 we did.
Yeah.
But when we started bringing in Giambi and Randy Johnson and all these high-priced free agents, we didn't win a damn thing. We won with our draft picks.
Right.
We won with the Jeter, the Posada, the Pettit, the Mariano.
The way the Yankees won their first, 4 titles under that regime?
Yes.
Was through the farms and bring in good free agents. Like Paul O'Neill was a good free agent. Tino Martinez was a good free agent.
Yeah, Scott Roaches, we brought it.
But they built the core.
The core
through the draft. Yeah.
13 years is way too much. Bryce Harper has been very inconsistent. Good year, bad year. Good year, bad year. He had 249 last year. He's been injury prone. He's had a lot of injuries.
Right.
He's going to be 27. So by the time his contract ends, he's going to be 40.
Yeah.
You really want a guy you're paying $30 million a year to when he's 37, 38, 39, and 40 years old?
The way the Phillies are going to look at it and the way they're going to justify it is if we win a championship, it's worth it. But you better win a championship.
Better win a championship.
And the problem with the Phillies roster right now, in my opinion, they don't have the pitching to win a championship.
No, they don't. And pitching is everything. Pitching is everything.
And their bullpen's not that good.
No.
Yeah. But
bullpen, the Mets bullpen is the best bullpen in that division by far.
Yeah, and that's
Mets bullpen rivals the Yankee bullpen.
The Mets bullpen is very good. And a lot of people are just looking at the two guys at the back end. Gazelman's very good and Lugo's very good. The Mets have a good bullpen.
Speaking of baseball, when the hell are we starting our Yankees-Mets thing? Because we could do this for a long time.
Oh, we could do... we could start that in 2 weeks. We'll do that in 2 weeks. As well, the thing is you got March Madness, though. We'll figure it out. Well, we can still do that one night, though. We could do Yankees-Mets. We could do that. Yeah, we could do that maybe 2 weeks before the year, start that up.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out.
Yeah, but back to the Giants.
Yes.
Entertainer, can you ask Mr. Baddog if he thinks Kyler Murray can be a better running quarterback than Vic? That's a big, big statement, but go ahead.
No, I don't. Because Michael Vick was not a progression guy. Michael Vick was a first read, take-off guy. Kyler Murray's not that guy. Kyler Murray's not going to run for 1,000 yards in the NFL. He's not. And Michael Vick got hurt because he constantly ran. You don't want Kyler Murray to do that. Kyler Murray's as fast as Michael Vick. Kyler Murray is probably the most electric quarterback since Michael Vick because of his speed, because of his. Michael Vick was not an accurate.
Do you think he's more electric? And I don't know. Do you think he's more electric than Griffin before the injury?
It's tough because Robert Griffin was really good at Baylor, really good with the Washington Redskins. I just think Kyler Murray is extremely accurate. I think he's more accurate than Blake Griffin, than Robert Griffin and Michael Vick, definitely. Michael Vick was not an accurate quarterback.
Yeah.
He had a gun. I mean, Michael Vick had one of the strongest arms I've ever seen. And he could run to 4.340.
Yeah.
He's so inaccurate. And in the NFL, accuracy is what matters. Robert Griffin's a good comparison for Kyler Murray.
I think they're similar quarterbacks. Of course, Griffin was taller, but I think they play a similar style.
But Griffin was also much slighter because he was only like 175 pounds at 6'3", where Kyler Murray, I mean, he weighed in at 207. He'll play at 190, 195. But he's still a thicker guy than Robert Griffin.
Griffin was that skinny?
Yes, very, very slight.
I know he was skinny. I didn't know he was only 175.
Well, he might have been more than. I don't know what his official weight was, but he looked like he was 170.
He looked thin. Yeah. Let's see if we got it. Are you telling me he's more electric than Newton and Rodgers? No way. Well, I think in terms of running ability, that's what he's referring to.
He's way more electric than Cam Newton.
I like Newton a lot, but Newton to me, he's a great runner, but he's more. I don't think this guy's quicker than Cam Newton. Cam Newton has a
faster.
Yeah, Cam Newton has a huge body though. He could take a lot of hits. I like Cam Newton, but Cam Newton the last couple of years has kind of regressed.
And then Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I'm not going to compare anyone to Aaron Rodgers. I'm not going to compare a Kyler Murray to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Kyler Murray hasn't played a snap in the NFL. I'm not comparing him to Aaron Rodgers. We were talking about Robert Griffin and Michael Vick. I mean, I don't know how Aaron Rodgers got in the conversation. I'm not going to compare him to.
Aaron Rodgers is the most talented quarterback I've ever seen since I've been watching the sport. So he's not Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, that's the equivalent. I had a debate with a guy on my page, or some page, where he's talking about Dwayne Haskins is better than Eli Manning. I go, how the hell can you possibly make that statement? I go, it doesn't make any sense. Or Eli Manning, blah, blah, blah. I said, Eli Manning is at the end of his career and he's going to the Hall of Fame. How the hell? Dwayne Haskins hasn't thrown a pass in the NFL. How's he better than Eli? I said college. I said college in the NFL.
You know what, though? On YouTube, you deal with a lot of youth, people that don't appreciate what Eli did. They didn't grow up how we did with the bad quarterbacks. And they're just accustomed. They see these young quarterbacks with this electric stuff, and they just think Eli's this piece of crap. Well, you'll find out when he leaves. It might not be as easy as you think.
I'll tell you what, I don't care. Eli Manning had a bad year last year, and I still say he's better than Dwayne Haskins. I mean, you're not telling me a college quarterback's better than Eli Manning.
No, he's not.
Not coming out, not right now.
Eli Manning still knows he knows the NFL. He knows how to make reads on defense.
He reads defenses. Yeah. He calls audibles. He's he ain't what he was, but you're not gonna. Nobody's telling me.
That's half the battle. That's half the battle.
So,
yeah.
But that's why I would never compare Kyler Murray to Aaron Rodgers. No.
Yeah.
No, not close.
It kind of sucks we're not in a position to need a receiver because I love that receiver DK. Metcalf's very good, Mike Nixon. Too early, though, at 6. Even if we needed a receiver. A little too early. I like him in the mid-first round.
Hollywood Brown would be better than DK Metcalf.
Those are the two best.
Hollywood Brown.
When we get Madden, Bavit? Soon. Very busy. And Dana, what do you think of Daniel Jones in the 2nd round? If we don't go, I've said that for a while now. If we don't go quarterback in the 1st round, I'm not going to be upset if they, I don't know if he'd be my guy, but I'm not going to be upset if they take Daniel Jones in the 2nd round. I like Daniel Jones. I wouldn't take him 6th overall, but I like Daniel Jones.
Not a fan of Daniel Jones.
Yeah. No, I know you're not. Yeah.
Not a fan.
Yeah, and we're going to see in the combine. But I actually heard, I think Chuck Charts told me, and then I looked it up. The Redskins are very interested in Daniel Jones from the sounds of it. Yeah.
It'll be very interesting.
Yeah.
Just what happens. What is up, Anthony? How you doing, my man? See you. Hi, Baddog. What's going on?
What's going on, Anthony? Thank you for tuning in. You misunderstood my question, New York Mets. I don't know what question he's referring to. Bobby's in the house. What's going on, Bobby? I want Landon Collins.
Unless referring to saying Kyler Murray's as electric as Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if that was his question. I thought I read it correctly.
Somebody said, Sarah said she wants Landon Collins on the Colts. That's another important storyline. We're going to find that out shortly if they franchise him or not.
Yeah, well, I've heard your points on it. It's great points because our secondary is just absolute garbage. And I still don't want Landon Collins here. He's just too much damn money, and he's not worth the money he's going to get. The Colts are in – I think they're in the best position to go to the Super Bowl.
I'm picking the Colts to go to the Super Bowl.
They have so much young talent. They have another draft, and they have a ton of cap space.
And they have 2 second-round picks this shit because of the Jets trade.
I mean, what if they went out and got Antonio Brown to go alongside T.Y. Hilton?
I'll tell you that, and they
could do it,
and they could improve that defense in the free agency. The Colts, I think, on paper, with the cap space they're going to have and that offensive line and Andrew Luck and Marlon Mack, the offense that they've put together, and the ability to bring in a guy like a Brown and improve the defense with 2 second-round picks, one being the...
Watching it, and I just saw it went offline. I don't know what the hell happened.
I think we just popped back on, maybe.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I see the kilobytes pop back on. I saw them went down to 0 for a second.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're good. We're back. Technical difficulties.
We're back online.
The guys in the production truck are getting fired for that one.
Okay, I apologize, guys. I don't know what just happened there, but
that was strange.
Yeah, but we're back. We're back. I've seen that's been happening to a few streams lately. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. If you had to bet on it, what player would you predict the Giants are going to draft right now? I'm going to stick to my guns right now, and this is before the Combine. Today, I'm going Dwayne Haskins. Today. That's what I think. Not what I want, what I think. I think it'll be Dwayne Haskins.
Tough. Because I had a feeling the Giants weren't going quarterback the whole time. I had a feeling they were not going quarterback.
Bruce Phillip, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in.
Devin White would be the guy, I think.
You think Devin White? Yeah. Devin White's definitely one of the 3 or 4 guys I think they'll be taking. Kyler Murray's definitely in the discussion now from what you've read, though. From, what was it? Was it Shermer or Gettleman that said that they...
Shermer.
Yeah,
Shermer said, the video I did had the interview with Shermer where he said, we're taking a look at him. Quarterbacks come in all shapes and sizes. The NFL is changing. And,
Yeah. So he kind of hinted that they'd be open to taking him.
It's buffering again.
What happened?
Buffering again.
Buffering again?
I think it is. I'm looking at it, so I don't know what's going on.
Now the kilobytes look good on my end. It's buffering?
That could be my internet.
Okay. What's going on? Are we good, guys? Let me know if we're good.
Yeah, are we good? Because I can't see it on mine, so...
Yeah. Daniel says, what...
Rick Crane just said to the stream just stop for anyone else. No, so, okay, we're good. All right.
We're good.
Yeah,
all right, Timothy Anderson. What's going on, my man? He says, fellas, what's good? Love you both. You guys are great together, but how you feel about needing a quarterback replacement for the future, but we have none. One defense, and we let everyone go. I think we need to take a quarterback in the next 2 years, Timothy. I don't know if it's going to be this year or in 2 years, but I think it needs to be done over the next 2 years. I'm not one of these guys that thinks we can wait till the following draft because, because of the great quarterbacks coming out in that class. It's got to be this year or next. Got to be.
Yeah, the quarterback. We have to.
Yeah.
We have to because again, Eli Manning's going to be done, and you're not going to go replacing him with a free agent quarterback. It's just you like we talked about earlier. You can't when you're not a quarterback away from winning a Super Bowl, you can't just go and buy one for $30 million a year because especially when you don't have a lot of cap space like we don't, and you're not going to be able to fill all the holes you need. So the Giants have to fill all their holes. The way you're going to do that is by getting a solid quarterback and not being able, not having to pay a ton of things. And not having to pay a ton of money to the quarterback. I mean, that's why Dallas was able to do what they did because even though Dak Prescott is not a great quarterback, they pay him nothing. He's a fourth-round quarterback.
Right.
Pay him nothing. So
Russell Wilson.
He succeeds because he's got Ezekiel Elliott. He's got all that great offensive line. He's got some, a good defense over there. And again, they drafted Van Der Esch. They drafted DeMarcus Lawrence. They did a really good job of drafting defense. So they're not paying their quarterback a damn thing, and they're able to build around the quarterback. That's how you win in the NFL. You don't win through free agency. Yep. You win by drafting and filling holes, here and there with free agents.
And next year they're going to be able to do that. Because next year, a ton of money comes off the cap. So, I think this year, you got to be diligent with the money. I wouldn't cut many players. I don't want to put myself in, I don't want to be wasting dead money. Let it roll over to the following year. That's when I'll make the cuts because it's not much dead cap space when you get rid of Vernon, when you get rid of Jenkins. Get rid of them, free up that cap space. Then you can bring in one or two impact players for the defense along with supplementing through the draft over the last 2 years plus next year. Hopefully we don't get a high pick the following draft, but if we do, then you get more high draft picks. Then you bring in some veterans, and then you're ready to roll with the quarterback that you draft this year or the following year. That's what you got to do.
I was gonna say, I think we've talked about it, both of us, that by 2020 we'll be a very good team.
Yeah, we're going to be.
We'll be a very good team by 2020.
Movie critic, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning in the stream. He says, "Stand up." William Watson wants his question answers. We can pay Eli $23 million, but we can't pay Landon Collins. There's a difference. There's a big difference, William Watson.
Huge.
Eli Manning's a 1-year commitment. 1-year commitment. Landon Collins, you're committing 5 years. And you're paying him $14 or $15 million, which would be the highest paid safety in the sport.
Yeah, and a safety does not impact the game the way a quarterback does.
Well, that too,
it's not close. Quarterback is the most important position on the field.
I just don't think the Giants have the luxury. Everybody knows that, especially in today's NFL, the most important aspect of a defense is the pass rush. The Giants don't have the luxury of paying a safety $15 million or $14 million, which is what it's going to cost for Landon Collins. They need to spend that money on the pass rush to address getting a big-time pass rush. So that's what they need to do. Or the offensive line. The free money, that's what they need to spend. They don't have the luxury of signing a safety to a big contract like that, in my opinion.
Right, yeah. And again, he's been extremely inconsistent, and he's a horrible cover safety. He's horrible. He gets exposed by every tight end in the league. And when they go up against a Zach Ertz or they go up against a George Kittle, we see that those guys just absolutely destroy us. Tight ends have destroyed us forever. That's because Ogletree and Landon Collins cannot cover to save their life. So tight ends just run free across the field, and it doesn't matter how. I mean, we saw Jarwin freaking kill it. Jarwin didn't have a damn touchdown reception a whole year. Last game of the season, he has 3. He has 3 touchdowns against the damn Giants.
Yeah.
Blake freaking Jarwin, people.
Yeah.
Pour Landon Collins up. Blake Jarwin. Blake Jarwin.
He looked great against us. He looked like a superstar. And we remember the 49ers game. Granted, Kittle's very good, but he tore us apart. I mean, they all tore us apart. Good night, Bobby. Thank you for tuning in the stream. Somebody asked, I think it was Movie Critic asked, what pass rush I want in free agency. Off the top of my head, it's escaped me. I did a video on this. The guy from the Ravens. He had 8.5 sacks last year. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they say he's gonna make about $9 million. He's relatively young. I think he's 26. That's what I'd be looking at because they don't have the money to be spending on these big guys. So I'd be looking at more of a cost-effective guy with a higher upside. That's what I'd be looking at if we're thinking realistic. Everybody can say, go get Clowney, go get Lawrence, go get this guy, go get that guy. When you only have $30 million to spend, you really can't get those guys.
Yeah, the only way we could get those, we'd have to cut Olivier Vernon. That's it. That would save $11 million, and we'd have to pay them probably $18 million. So we're going to be paying $7 more. We'd be paying $7 million more than we'd, So it'd be. Well, I mean, honestly though, we pay Vernon $17 million a year. So
no, 19 and a half. 19 and a half.
Is it 19 and a half? So we'd almost be replacing Vernon, it'd be like the same price.
But
I don't know, man. Give me Jadeveon Clowney. I think.
Well, you say it'd be the same price, but really it wouldn't. Not for this year. It'd be 20 for him plus the 8 in dead cap. So essentially, you're paying Jadeveon Clowney 28. That's the way I look at it for this year.
For 1 year.
Yeah, for the first year.
I mean, we took a hit with JPP. I mean, we took a $15 million cap hit this year by getting rid of him. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We need something. We need some kind of damn pass rusher. Man, we need anything. It might be worth paying Jadeveon Clowney $28 million for a year, or DeMarcus Lawrence, whatever it is. I would love DeMarcus Lawrence and the Giants. I just to have him go against his old team and just destroy the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I had to deal with him. You know.
Big Blue says, would I cut? Yes, that would be my plan. If I was going to cut Vernon, I would spend that on the player from the Ravens that I was talking about. I would get 3 guys. If I was the GM, the 3 guys I'd be targeting are him, Amos, the safety from the Bears, and the offensive lineman from Carolina.
Darrell Williams.
Darrell Williams, yeah. Those would be the 3 guys I would target because it's about $30 million combined. I think they'd have a big impact, and there's 3 positions where the Giants need the most help. So that would be the 3 guys I would target. I wouldn't break the bank for a $20 million guy. I would go after a guy like that next year when I had more cap space. That would be my philosophy, my strategy.
Yeah, I think Darrell Williams is almost a lock to come here. I think that's. I mean, we all know Gettleman loves his hog mollies, and obviously he was the GM there in Carolina. So why not bring the guy over here, shore up the right tackle spot? I mean, I'm just thinking of what Saquon Barkley could do with a good offensive line.
Oh, it'd be stupid. It'd be stupid.
Almighty.
Oh, thank you so much, Cushman. He says I look so pretty today. Well, I appreciate that, Cushman. Thank you so much.
Getting ready for the Masturbate 8 tomorrow.
Anthony, you're going to have to type that in again because I can't scroll up on the chat. So type it in again.
Especially from a few minutes ago, it would have really went past. But.
Yeah, Ryan Crane. Darrell Williams is the guy that I want more than anybody in free agency. The guy was a Pro Bowler in 2017. He got hurt this year. He only played 2 or 3 games. So you're getting him on the cheap, but you're still getting a premium player for not a premium price. You're going to probably be paying $9 million as opposed to $13, which is the going rate for a top-tier right tackle. So you're getting him a little bit of a discount. Gettleman loves him, and he fills a need for the Giants. I mean, our right tackle for the since we've had Flowers has been the worst in football.
Yeah, well, Flowers is a left tackle, but still.
Yeah, well, he played right this year. Yeah.
Oh, well, he was awful. Bobby Hart was awful.
Yeah.
God only know whoever the hell he put over there is awful. But yeah, to be able to shore up the left and right side of the line, it'd be good. It'd be good. Eli Manning might have an offensive line to play behind this year, and then it'd be no excuse. He's got to get it done. Beckham's got to stay healthy. That's another thing. Beckham has got to produce the way he did in 2015, 2016. He's got to.
Yeah.
He's got to produce like that.
Yeah. No, we need Beckham. It makes Barkley's life that much easier. We need them both to be on the field. I mean, and Richard Neal says, Chris for GM 2019. Oh, I mean, let him know. Let him know. Give him my plan. Tell him to do it, and it'll work out.
Yeah.
What do we do for right guard and center? I think they're going to bring back Brown for about $4 million a year. Giants played well with him there, and I think they're going to go with Jalapeno. Jalapeno, they have an option to bring him back. I forgot the terminology, but it's some type of free agent where they could sign him for about $750,000 to $1 million, somewhere in that range. They only paid him about $550 last year. He got hurt, but he played well for the 2 games that he did play, and Gettleman loves him. So I think for a cost-effective deal, I think that's what you're looking at as the starting center going into next year. But I could see them drafting a center in the 2nd round. So somebody that could potentially compete with him. I could see that type of scenario.
I think Jamon Brown comes back. Once Jamon Brown got there, the offensive line played so much better. So I think he made an enormous impact immediately for the Giants. Another year under that system, another year to build some chemistry with the guys. I don't think there's any difference for $4 million with how well he played. And all of a sudden, our team looks so much better offensively in the second half of the season. Saquon Barkley, they were opening up huge holes. He had like 4 100-yard games in a row. And I just think he made an enormous impact. And I think you pair Jamon Brown with the Darrell Williams. Like I said, you got really good sides. And you got both sides are shored up. And, the Giants with the Saquon Barkley being able to protect Eli Manning and let him make plays down the field, especially Evan Ingram. I think Evan Ingram is Like, he is the X factor to me on that offense. I mean, Evan Engram was so bad the first 12 games. I mean, you and I did this show, and every week we ripped Evan Engram. He can't block, he can't catch, he stinks, he's horrible. Last 4 games of the season, this is the guy that the Giants must have envisioned when they drafted him.
Because he was fantastic.
Dominant.
Yeah, the last 4 games he was fantastic. Still can't block to save his life, but he is a great weapon. There's no doubt about it when he's on the field and he's playing well, when he's not dropping passes. Yeah. He's a difference maker. So, yeah, of course, PFF went way overboard. They said he was the number 1 rated tight end. That was insane.
I saw that.
Yeah, Lord Brunswick.
PFF was drunk that day.
Yeah.
He's not better than Zach Ertz.
Yeah, not even close.
He's not better than George Kittle. You know.
Yeah, I mean, at best, he's 6th or 7th, at best.
Yeah, and that's his offensive skill. He can't block to save his life. I mean, he can't block. You know.
When do you think that the Giants will be serious? The Cowboys, rather, will be serious Super Bowl contenders? I mean, serious Super Bowl contenders?
They got to get rid of the quarterback.
Yeah, I honestly, well, I'm not going to say you definitely can't win with Dak. There's been worse quarterbacks that have won, but they don't have the caliber of a defense of those teams. So, if they,
go ahead. I was just going to say, I also don't really like their wide receiving core. I don't like it. I like Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup. You know,
I actually don't. I don't hate Gallup. I don't hate Gallup.
Well, I'm saying, I mean, he's not great.
Yeah.
They brought on Tavon Austin. He did nothing.
Well, Tavon Austin's been a bust since the beginning of his career.
I know, but I'm saying, who else do they got outside of Cooper? And then they're going to have to pay Cooper a ton of money.
They got Witten. They got the 38-year-old, 37-year-old Witten.
I mean, that's the whole thing, though. If they let Cooper walk, then what do they have?
Right.
And you have to pay Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, and Dak. How much money are you going to see?
I tell you, when they signed Dak, I tell you, if I was a Cowboy fan, and I know Sexy Goat loved Tavon Austin sucks though, Sexy Goat. Since he came into the league, he's a gadget player.
He's been a bust. Yeah. He was drafted like 8th overall by the Rams, and he never did anything.
Yeah, but if I was a Cowboys fan, and I know Cowboy fans might disagree with me, I would be rooting for them to let Dak go. Because once Dak gets that money, all those pieces that you guys have, those cheap offensive, they're going to go bye-bye. Once you pay Dak Prescott that money, you're not going to be able to keep those guys. You can't. It's impossible. Nope. I would let Dak walk. That would be in the best interest of the Cowboys franchise not to give that guy a $30 million contract. That would be a horrible idea, in my opinion. Horrible.
Yeah, because they got to sign Elliott.
Yeah.
That's more important. And you sign Elliott, Dak, and Amari Cooper. That is probably 40% of their cap.
And the offensive line is much more important than Dak Prescott.
And they're paying those guys a lot. They lock those guys up for a while.
But for how much longer? And how are they gonna have that cap space? Like, where are they gonna get this money from if they're paying those? Where's
that's what I'm saying.
They're gonna franchise Lawrence. I mean, then you're gonna have to let Lawrence go the following year if you're not.
Yeah, I'm saying those 3 players. Cooper's gonna get 18, 19 million a year. He'll get as much as Beckham. Prescott will get 25 to 30 million a year, and Ezekiel Elliott's gonna get 16 to 20. Whatever Le'Veon Bell gets, Ezekiel Elliott's gonna get the same money. So it's probably going to be 18 million a year for Elliott. They're not in great. They don't have great cap space either. They're a lot better than they were, but they get a lot of big players that they got to make decisions on.
Right.
And like you said, those other pieces start to disappear. Your offensive line disappears, and then you got to hope you draft well. Because if you don't, it doesn't matter how good Dak Prescott is, how good Ezekiel Elliott. If you can't block, Ezekiel Elliott's going to be losing yards because Ezekiel Elliott's not a guy that makes people miss. Ezekiel Elliott's a guy that bulls forward.
Right.
If you're getting stopped before you get momentum, he won't be effective. He's effective because he's very good. Don't get me wrong.
Top 4 running back.
But he would not if he played with the Giants offensive line, there's no way he puts up Saquon Barkley numbers.
No, he'd be similar to Leonard Fournette on the Jaguars. Similar to that. Yeah.
So offensive line means a lot to Dallas. And, I don't think they can afford to pay Dak Prescott. I don't. I think they have to start thinking about drafting a quarterback.
I see who's Mark's in the chat. I always love when he pops in. Very passionate. Who's Mark? How you doing? Asia's in the chat. She says, stand up, Kristen Baddog. What's going on, Asia? Thank you for tuning in. Asia, there's a super chat. She just said it again. Stand up, Asia. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Yes. Asia's great. He's a big Yankee fan, so we'll get on board. Asia and I will be on the same team coming up this year.
I'm gonna have to convert her to the Mets. She works at City Field.
No, you're not gonna convert her to the Mets. She is a diehard Yankee fan, a huge baseball fan by the way.
Huge baseball fan. Playboy's in the house. What's going on, Playboy?
I was just gonna say real quick. I forgot where I was. She said, anyone else watching Mariners A's? When you're watching Mariners A's spring training, die-hard baseball fan.
Yeah, she knows her stuff. She does. Did you see Stanton moving to DH this season? Do you guys see that happening? Maybe partially, not full time.
No, who would play the outfield? You're not gonna have Brett Gardner out there every day.
No, I'm saying maybe occasionally, but not like a.
Oh yeah, he'll DH time to time. But this is what they would have had to do if they brought in Bryce Harper. He would have had a DH. Right. That's, So no, he'll play left field a lot. But he'll also DH. I mean, the Yankees are gonna have a bunch of DH. They're gonna have to DH somebody constantly because LeMahieu, when Didi Gregorius comes back, Tulowitzki and Didi can't play together. Gleyber Torres and DJ LeMahieu can't play together. I mean, you got 2 second basemen and 2 shortstops. And then you got Luke Voigt, and they really just need to dump Greg Bird's sorry Kevin Moss ass. That's what Greg Bird is.
People are starting to get a preview of our baseball talk, and they're getting sleepy. Well, you know what? Unfortunately, you're going to be getting a lot of it after the draft. Because come April time, I mean, you're going to get NBA. You'll get NBA talk, too, with the playoffs, with the NBA draft, especially with Knicks fans. A lot of off-season coverage with the Knicks. Of course, I'll be continuing the Giants coverage, but you're going to be getting a lot of baseball talk.
Tons of baseball, because it's baseball season. So when May gets here, it's baseball season.
So get used to it for at least 2 or 3 months. Get used to it. Unfortunately,
get used to it for longer than that, because when October gets here and it's playoff time.
Well, for you.
My Yankees are going to be there. So I see baseball last year.
Hopefully for me. Unfortunately, I feel like we're going to have to trade up for Kyler if we do. Yeah, well, I've said this from the start. I'm a fan of Haskins. I would not trade up for any quarterback in this draft because of the holes the Giants have. I'm not trading up for anybody.
I love Kyler Murray. Everybody knows this. I wouldn't trade up for Kyler Murray.
Can't do it.
I'm not giving up draft picks to move up 3 spots to get any quarterback in this draft.
They're not worth it. It's too bad. Asia, thank you so much. He says, it's Spotlight Sports Talk birthday. Happy birthday, Spotlight Sports Talk. Everybody go over there and sub after the stream, of course. Go over there and sub up Spotlight Sports Talk for his birthday. Why is Eli so underpaid? Whoever said that, William Watson?
He's joking around.
Oh, okay.
William Watson is everything he asks is absolute sarcasm.
Oh, okay.
He asks the most ridiculous questions. That's how I know he's my kid. He just asks ridiculous questions.
I see. Ligma's in the chat.
Does Andy Reid have swag, Baddog? I mean, he asks questions that the answer is no to every time.
Right. That's his personality.
That's what he does.
That's awesome, though. That's awesome. Playboy says, I love baseball, but cannot trash teams play or spring training. I could only watch non-Yankee games that are good, like the Dodgers vs. Giants or Cubs vs. Cardinals. I'm the same way, Playboy. If it's not the Mets, I'm a Met fan. I can't get into the game unless it's something similar to what you just said, a Yankees-Red Sox, something like that. I can't get into it either unless it's my Mets.
I can.
Yeah?
Oh God, I'll watch.
You get into Rangers Angels?
Yep. I'll sit there and watch the great players. I'll watch freaking Padres Diamondbacks.
God, no.
I will sit there at 10 o'clock and I go, Padres Diamondbacks. I'll watch it. Yeah, I
love baseball, but if it's not my Mets or if it's not a primetime game, I can't get into it.
I can watch them all. That's why the best $20 I spend, I buy MLB audio package, and every night when I go to sleep, man, I just say, Alexa, play the Anaheim Angels. Alexa, play Los Angeles Dodgers. And I will sit there and
That's different. I will say this. There is no better game to listen to on the radio than baseball. It's very relaxing. I love listening. I can't get into basketball on the radio, football on the radio. Baseball is meant to be on the radio. Very good radio sport.
Yeah. Nothing like listening to it on the radio. Like I say it all the time. The windows open, just drinking a cool beer in the dark. And just sitting relaxing and just listening to, especially when you had the guys like Vin Scully. Calling a game. I mean, I could listen to Vince Scully for hours. Unfortunately for me, I got the worst radio broadcaster in the history of baseball, John Sterling.
Right.
He's pathetic. I know people love his corny home run calls and, what are you talking about? He's funny. He can't see. And when you are doing a radio broadcast, and this is what I try to bring to my streams when I do this, because in case you can't watch the game, I want you to try to envision what I'm talking about. This is why I tell you how much time's on the clock. This is why I tell you the formations. This is why I tell you who's in motion. Because I want you to envision what's going on. In baseball, you really need to paint a picture. And John Sterling will say, it is high, it is far. And then he loses the ball somewhere, and he'll be like, it is gone. And, oh, no, wait a minute. Oh, it was caught. Like,
yeah. Yeah, well, he's notorious for that. He's notorious for that.
Oh, he's horrible.
Christian Orr says, I drink cold-ass milk in the... Oh, good to know. Baseball players are overpaid. I mean, all athletes are overpaid.
Christian Orr can't drink a cold beer in the dark yet.
Yeah, what are your guys' predictions on how fast Josh Allen will run the 40?
4.6.
I'll go lower. I'll go 4.48, 4.52. Between 4.48 and 4.52, I'll go for Josh Allen.
All right, well, we're gonna go there. I was gonna say like high 4.5, like 4.58.
Yeah.
So
I'll go high 4s, low 5s. You'll go high 5s, low 6s.
Yes.
Okay.
Baddog is sleeping. It's 11 o'clock.
And yes, we can't wait for you to be there, Josh. Hopefully you do some baseball streams yourself. Hopefully I get to do, and I know you're a Cubs fan, when the Mets play the Cubs, hopefully we get to do a game together.
Oh, that's what I told him. I said, let's do it. It'll be great.
I got the limited edition Johnny Walker White Walkers, but I saw that, Sanchez, the Game of Thrones bottle. I saw that.
Yeah, Sanchez loves booze. That's why he used to come to my streams, because we were talking about booze. During the baseball streams, it's booze, it was food. We talked about everything. And it ended up being food the other night.
It's always food. You always got to talk about the food.
I think it was last night. Last night I was talking about getting a pizza. I wanted the pizza.
Yes, the corner Sicilian.
Yeah, the corner Sicilian with the burnt crust and the Parmesan. It's making me hungry now. I had to get a damn slice of Sicilian. I haven't had a slice in too long.
Yeah, somebody just asked. So who just asked that question? Somebody asked a good question. Oh, Jeffrey Abbey says traditional pocket passer or a mobile playmaker. I prefer, if I got to pick one or the other, I'm picking the pocket passer. But I do like my pocket passer to have the ability to escape the pocket.
Yeah, I know Jeffrey's a pocket passer guy. But the one thing Jeffrey completely disagrees with me about Kyler Murray. Although he did say he saw him throw and he likes his arm. I try to tell Jeffrey all the time that Kyler Murray is not a runner. Guys just look at his stats, and he can run, and he's an explosive runner, but he is not a runner first. I cannot emphasize that enough about Kyler Murray's game, is that he goes through progressions, and if you look at his tape from Oklahoma, he throws many, many, many passes from the pocket. He is not just gone. Oh, that's not there. I'm running. Up, I'm going to go, unless it's a designed run, which Oklahoma did a lot of that.
Well, yeah, they had to. If he had 1,000 yards in 12 games, they had to have a lot of designed runs.
Yeah, they did. Or if they're playing man coverage and it's open and that guy can get 60 yards on a run, I mean, you got to watch it. I mean, he averaged, God, what did he average? 9 yards a carry?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous because he had a bunch of 70-yard runs where, cornerbacks had the angles on him, and he just took the angle away. His speed is just absolutely, it's otherworldly. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I know he's a great athlete. Bad Dog has me convinced on Kyler.
I'm going to convince everybody on Kyler.
I still got Haskins one. But I've said it from the beginning. I'm not going to be upset if they take Kyler. He's just not my guy.
Right, and I'm exactly the opposite. Kyler is my guy, but I will not be upset if we take Haskins.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be, I'm not gonna be like, oh, son, it's not gonna be like when we drafted Eli Apple.
Right.
I was mad at that.
Right. Well, that was a horrible pick, and that's what worries me. I've been trying to get my video done on Greedy Williams, hopefully by Monday, but he reminds me a lot of Eli Apple, a lot. Yeah, Greedy Williams, yeah.
God, I want him.
Yeah, Eli Apple was that tall, fast corner, same exact. Eli Apple, I think, was 6'1", 185, 190 going in the pros. He's 6'2", 185. Both have very lengthy arms. They're both known to be poor tacklers, not good against the run. And a lot of people compare him to Eli Apple. That's his pro comparison.
I haven't watched a lot of Greedy Williams, so I don't know. What I did know from Eli Apple at Ohio State was he played with his hands way too much, and he did that in the NFL. And I like if you can't cover a receiver without using your hands at the college level, then you're never going to be able to be effective at the NFL level. And he wasn't. He just wasn't. He was too handsy. He was handsy at Ohio State, and that's I have never been more mad at a pick than I was that year. And that.
Thank you so much, Movie Critic, for the super chat. He says, "What about Murray's decision?" We talked about that at the beginning of the stream, but neither one of us like it. We both think he'll throw on his pro day, which is about a week after the combine.
March 13th.
Yeah, so we'll probably throw then.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. I don't think it was a good decision, personally. I want a guy that competes. So I'm not a fan of it, but I think we're still going to get to see him throw at his pro day. But to me, it shows a lack of confidence.
Right. Oh, I was going to say, the last thing about Eli Apple, I was going to say, if anybody ever wants to watch a video of when we drafted him, or the day after, actually, and I was more mad than when we did draft him. I mean, I cooled off the next day. You ever want to watch me get really mad and want to see a real mad dog? You go watch the video when we drafted Eli Apple.
That was a pick. That was a pick where we panicked. The Giants panicked that
yeah,
day. Because
the Titans traded up and got Conklin.
Yep, Conklin.
Bears traded up and got Floyd. I was mad then. I was already seething when they took Leonard Floyd from us. I was so Reese wasn't going to draft him anyway.
But he was going to take. I think he was going to take Conklin.
Really? Oh, Conklin. I'm saying Leonard Floyd.
Yeah, I think he was going to take Conklin.
Yeah.
And I remember when Conklin went. I remember watching him like. I didn't know who they were going to take, but I'm like, they're going to reach. They're going to panic here because Conklin everybody thought would be there. And when somebody traded up to take him, I knew Reese was going to just reach on someone because he did it in the past with Pugh.
He did it with Flowers.
Yeah, he did it with Flowers.
Because Redskins took Sheriff.
Yeah.
That's the guy they wanted.
Movie Critic, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, as an accountant for radio, I agree baseball, best game to call by far. Yeah, I know a lot of my subscribers aren't going to love it because they're not baseball fans. A lot of younger people on YouTube. But I'm going to have a lot of fun calling the baseball games. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I did it.
Yeah.
It's where my channel began to grow, honestly.
Yeah.
Was the baseball playoffs.
Yeah.
It began to grow there. It's where it started. Then I started doing a lot more NFL games. I mean, listen, I even went when I was doing primetime NFL games, and I got rid of the night Drew Brees broke the record against the Redskins. I said, you know what? I'm not streaming that football game. I'm not doing it. I hate the Red Sox with them. I hate them. They had a chance to win the World Series. I'm like, I'm not going to not stream the baseball game where a team has a chance to win the World Series. I'm going to stream that game. That's historic. If they win, I don't want to see them win it. I hope they lose, but they did end up winning it. So I'm like, I'm streaming the World Series. There'll be many more football games. This could be the last baseball game of the year. So I did it, and listen. Like you said, a lot of our viewers right now may not like the baseball. We will do our best. You'll enjoy the streams because we can talk to you a lot more.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I think it'll be fun.
But I think we will pick up baseball people.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
I see Marjorie Simmons just came into the chat, and she asked us if we... By the way, Marjorie, how you doing? And she asked us if we had talked about the Gettleman interview today, which we didn't... did we... Have we talked about that? Wait, which interview is she referring to? The one where... I remember hearing about this when... God. It happened... I think it was yesterday. I forget now. God, I'm tired.
It happens.
Yeah, but no, I remember hearing about the Gettleman interview. I think it was today, but I can't remember. Oh, Playboy, thank you so much for the super chat. He says, imagine how many New York baseball would have been if the Giants and Dodgers stayed. Yanks in 09, Giants 10. Yeah. Great point. And I don't know if you watched my video, Playboy. I talked about that, the Giants and the Dodgers and the history of New York. I'm glad the Mets are here because I love my Mets, but I often think, what's going on, Cooper? Thank you for tuning in. Where he says he's not waiting until 2020 for a quarter. I didn't even know about that.
I didn't know about that either.
He said that word for word, Marjorie? I
didn't hear that either.
But before she gets that, we get that. I often think about that. Well, if both those two teams stayed and the Mets never existed, who I would have rooted for. I often think about that. I honestly don't know who I would have picked.
You would have been a Yankee fan.
Yeah, maybe a Dodger
fan.
The
Giants and Yankees go together, man. They just do because the Giants played in Yankee Stadium. So if, like me, it's usually Mets, Jets, and Giants, Yankees, and I think it's because of, well, number one, it's the boroughs. That's part of it. But like me, it's bloodline because my grandfather, obviously, and my dad, they watched the Yankees, and the Giants played in Yankee Stadium, so obviously they they went together, and the Giants been around since 1925. So my grandfather obviously watched them both, and then it just, like I said, it's through the bloodlines. So I'm glad my dad and my grandpa were, I'm glad that they were Yankees Giants, because Mets, Jets, Knicks. Oh,
the Jets are much worse than the Mets, but the Mets are tough. Marjorie says, yeah, well, I'm going to be completely honest with you, Marjorie. I was working today. I didn't even know that.
I didn't know it either.
And if that's true, that tells us all we need to know. Well, they still could take a quarterback in the second round. Doesn't mean they're taking a quarterback with the 6th overall selection. They could still sign one via free agency, although I don't expect that. But that more than likely, if that is true, they'll probably take a quarterback with the 6th overall pick. And I see Sir Cardinal popped in, by the way. Go check him out. He's adorable. Love his channel. Just hit 2,000 subs. Great guy.
Amazing mustache.
Best, as good as it gets.
I mean, that's big Knicks fan, too.
As good as it gets.
Big Knicks fan.
Was Sir Cardinal in the... And he's a huge Knicks fan. And he's a Mets fan.
He was. He lost to Josh. I think Josh Sports Fury beat him.
Oh, that's right. Josh beat him. Yeah, that was a tough matchup.
I think Josh took him out. I think that... Or no, did he go against Josh? He did go against Josh, I think.
Christopher Columbus says, how we doing? Christopher Columbus in the chat. Unfortunately, we're logging out probably in 5 to 6, 7 minutes, but... Christopher Columbus, love you, buddy. Thank you for tuning in, my man.
Bert made the chat.
Oh, Bert's the best. Bert's the best.
Yeah.
Has a team ever ran out of time on the clock? Oh, you mean, the Vikings.
The Vikings, yep.
Yeah, the Vikings did. It was, about 15 years ago now?
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but they did.
I remember watching that draft. Yeah. I think they did it intentionally. What, didn't they do it intentionally because they didn't want to pay the guy or something? I remember somebody told, maybe it was a conspiracy theory, maybe Philly told me, I don't know. But there was something to do with the cap, but maybe I'm wrong. I have a Burt Reynolds stash, but I hate just rocking the stash, Nick Howard says. Yeah, I would imagine the upkeep on a stash would be tough.
Yeah, I've never had a stash, ever. I never just... Well, no, I lie. When I was in high school, I used to have the cheesy porno stash thing going on. Not a good look for me.
Yeah, I can't picture with the stash.
No, not good. Not good.
So Marjorie's putting the links right there where it's on. It's on Daily Motion, MSN, SNY. He was speaking with reporters at the Combine. I'm going to have to take a look at that. I may do a video on that tomorrow morning, so thank you for giving me some content. I'll definitely take a look at that. And that's big news. If that's true, that's big news. Yeah. And I'm sure it is. She's great, so I'm sure it is. Yeah, Vikings did it back. Yeah, Kyle, they did it back years ago. Good night, Bobby. Thank you for tuning in, Bobby. Bobby, I know I'm going to hear from you soon on the Collins Show, Saturday night.
Yes, so, Bobby.
Looking forward to that. What's going on, C
Bobby,
Sports?
Best voice on the Collins Show.
Oh, God. As soon as he calls in, you know who it is. You know
Bobby.
who it is. I mean,
unmistakable, Bobby. Just unmistakable. And you got to love him. He's adorable.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best. He's the best. Dog Bears, reports say Greg Little met with the Giants, asked about blocking for Barkley. He could be a target in round 2. Yeah, Greg Little has really slipped down draft boards, and you've seen a lot of offensive linemen move up. Cody Ford, for one. There's been a bunch. So Greg Little could potentially be a second-round target. It's just crazy as that sounds because he was a top 10 pick in a lot of mocks a month and a half, 2 months ago.
It kind of happened with Will Hernandez. He was supposed to go in the first round. He slipped back to the second round. I mean, it would be great.
Oh, if we get Greg Little in the second round? Oh, yeah. My God. You'd sign for that in a second. Because he could play the guard, too. He could play the guard.
I've heard you talk about Deontay Tyler.
Love him.
So but I've heard you talk about trading back up into the first round for him. Would you trade back up into the first round for
Little?
Okay. Yes.
Depends on the price. More so for Thompson. I think Thompson, I don't know if he's going to drop that far, but he could. A lot of mocks have him drop into the late first. Thompson's a big-time playmaker. He could change the defense. He's like Collins, but only you're going to be paying him pennies on the dollar. He's a playmaker at the safety position, and you'll be paying him $2 million a year instead of $13.
Right.
So
I mean, we trade up to get Landon Collins, so it's possible.
Yeah, it's a similar situation. I like him a lot. He's one of my favorite players in this draft, actually.
Right.
What borough are you? I'm originally from Long Island. I now live in Brooklyn.
I am not close to any borough, but originally from the Bronx, and moved upstate many moons ago.
There you go.
When Gotti was running things, I was out. That's who I'm related to Gotti.
Oh, man. You live in Queens, movie critic. Yeah, I knew that. Asia, yeah, I know you're from Brooklyn. Entertainer, would you be fine with us trading back? Yes. I actually think that might be the best possible scenario, trading back in this year's draft to accumulate picks for the following draft. So you could trade up and get a quarterback, and you still fill a need. If you're able to trade down to the 12th, 13th, 15th spot, you could then draft a offensive lineman, a hog molly. You get a second-round pick and maybe a first in next year's draft. So that might be the best possible scenario, actually, if you find the right partner and you get the right package.
Yeah. Red Hook. That's where New York Giant Pride is from.
Oh, really?
Yep. Red Hook.
Suffolk County kid. Oh, all right. Very good stuff. Lives in Westchester, Cushman. All right. Canarsie. Stand up.
Canarsie.
They say all Italians somehow know each other, movie critic says.
We all look the same.
We're all the same. We're all the same. We talk the same.
We are. That's why New Yorkers are all the same. That's why I do the best Kevo Kevorkian impression on YouTube. I got that guy locked down.
Yeah, I love Kevo.
Yes, I do too, but that's why I just I got that on point, that impression. People love my Pat Mahomes impression too. They get a kick out of that.
The Kermit?
They love it.
Save that for tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I'm going to New York for the first time, where should I go first? If you're first time, you got to go to Manhattan.
Manhattan's the best by far.
That's where all the buildings are. That's where you got to go to Manhattan. But Brooklyn has a lot of trendy spots. That's where I'm from. Brooklyn's not the way it used to be. Very popular. A lot of people move to Brooklyn because it's kind of like the new city. So I would recommend checking out Brooklyn too. Parts of Brooklyn.
No sleep till Brooklyn.
And parts of Queens. Long Island City is very nice. Good spot over there.
But I'll tell you the first place you go. You go to the Bronx and you go check out Yankee Stadium because that's where you go in New York. It's the Mecca. Well, what used to be the Mecca. Now it's just I don't know why they built a new stadium. I missed that old stadium like you wouldn't believe. But that was where you used to go. East 161st Street in the Bronx. It's the best.
Yeah, I never went to the Yankee Stadium back in the day. I went to it after Rudy Giuliani had cleaned it up and it was a safer place to go to. I never went to it when it was supposedly dangerous. I never went then.
Yeah, I went there all the time.
Yeah.
I survived.
The first place you go is Stout. Love Stouts. You know that. Nothing.
Or you go to Stan's. You pay like $15 a shot across from the stadium.
Would you make your hair like Odell? No. There's not much.
I'll ask you that.
Chad, I think. Chad Warden.
Joey C. Entertainer coming out with the Odell hair. That would be something.
And
I can't do it.
Yeah, I'd be the only one, I guess, that could do it, right?
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
But tomorrow's gonna be a lot. Tomorrow's gonna be a lot of fun. If you guys have not been to a nonsense stream, don't expect sports talk. But we always have fun. That's gonna be.
There's a lot of nonsense that goes on in that.
A lot of nonsense, a lot of singing, a lot of drunken foolishness.
Tomfoolery, BS, and nonsensical toilet talk, singing Australian voices, Pakistani voices, imitations. You'll hear Pat Mahomes' voice. Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun tomorrow night. That'll be on this channel this week, so be sure to tune in for that. Once again, we'll leave in about 5 more minutes, but before we go, I just want to say, please go to that link in the description. If you haven't done so, if you're a subscriber of mine, you haven't subbed up Mr. Bad Dog, go over there and sub him up. Peace out. Yes, Jeffrey. Combine, I'm going to have that on my channel. I don't know if you heard me earlier. Tomorrow, you can watch it with me. I'm going to be from about 9:30 to 11:40. About 2 hours, 10 minutes. I'll be streaming the next 3 days for the Combine, so looking forward to that.
Last Jedi said Bad Dog versus Philly 500 is the main event of the Mass Debate 8. I got to get by Philly 500. This is tough matchup.
That's one. I don't know where it's going. I don't know where that one's going. Philly 500's got a big following.
He does, but I got home court advantage.
You do have home court advantage.
So we'll see what happens. I forgot who I go. I mean, if I do get by Philly 500, I mean, you get to that hardcore fight. I already know who's going there.
Well, if I win, I'm probably going to face UCF Jaguar. Because, I mean...
If I win, I'm going to go against Jet Central.
Or Josh.
I'm going against Jet Central. Come on. Yeah, I mean, come on.
Josh has got it.
Come on.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much. And by the way, I saw that Skins Fan All Day also said he loves us. Skins Fan All Day, we love you, man. So keep doing what you're doing.
You guys are the best.
And Movie Critic says, one of the best channels showing the love. Glad Bad Dog is feeling better. Queens represent. Stand up, Queens. Thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, Pumpkin decided to come in. What is going on, Mr. Pumpkin? What's going on, Bad Dog? And Chris, I want Kyler Murray now. I think a lot of people do.
Yes. See?
I think a lot of people do.
I tried to tell you all he was 5'10". I tried to tell you what he does. I tried to tell you how good he was. Yeah, well, I told you when he declared for the draft, Chris. I said this. You quoted me on it. You can go back and look at it. By the end of this thing, I will have Giants fans saying, I want Kyler Murray. I got sports convinced. I got a lot of Giants.
He's not a Giants
I got
fan.
you more convinced now than you were.
I'd take him. I mean, he's not my first choice, but I'm not going to be upset if they take him. And I saw Richard Cranium. I think he's a big subscriber of yours. I always see him in your streams. He says, what's the Masturbate 8? I guess he's never tuned into a nonsense stream. So basically, we came up with this nonsensical idea. We picked out the 16 sexiest YouTubers, all men, and we have the chat vote on it. It's like the NCAA tournament. So our final 8, we have us two. We have Josh from Sportsfair. We have Jet Central. We have UCF Jaguar. We have Kevo Kevorkian.
Philly 500.
Philly 500. And who's the last? Oh, the guy fairer than me, the Clemson fan. What's his name again?
Oh, Pigskin Pete.
Pigskin Pete. That's our final 8. So be sure to check that out tomorrow. And Buster Cherry brought the cherries. Thank you so much for that.
I just want to point out something that I just saw. Jeffrey Abbey just said, Bad Dog, get him. Kyler Love is growing. Now, if I could convince Jeffrey Abbey, I know.
Jeffrey Abbey, I've noticed Jeffrey Abbey. He's kind of like Rover a little bit. And I know he likes Rover. We all do. He moves a lot. I remember at one point he was all deep. He's all about the defense. Then he shifted to quarterback. Then he's Haskins. Now he's talking Murray. He's changed his mind off, but we all do. Except for you.
I have not changed my mind off Kyler Murray. I mean, I still want defense. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that I flip-flop with.
No.
The pass rusher or the quarterback. I have flip-flopped a lot with that. I've said I don't want a quarterback at number 6. Now I'm saying I want Kyler. So that I've done. But I have never wavered from Kyler Murray. I said that right from the beginning, that's the quarterback I want. We take a quarterback, I want Kyler Murray. I don't want anyone else. No one's going to convince me otherwise. I watched him play too much. I know what he brings. I know what that kid can do.
Well, we're going to find out. I'm looking forward to it. Movie Critic says, think about this.
Rover lost a tough one.
What do you mean?
In the sexy.
Oh, yeah, he almost beat Jet Central. That would have been a shocker.
Yes. Yeah. Us.
The Bear. Think about this, Bad Dog. Got sick around the Oscars. Did the Oscars get Bad Dog sick? They might have.
They probably did.
We should make a bet.
I'm glad. I'm glad I'm feeling better too, Movie Critic, because I had some energy in my last 2 basketball streams. So it's good to have that energy.
Stuck in the 80s says that we should make a bet for the draft. Maybe we will. Maybe we'll have some fun with that. We're, of course, going to stream that on my channel. So maybe we'll do something for that. Do something fun with that. That's actually a pretty good idea. And one thing we definitely have to do, Selection Sunday, I think, is in probably 2 weeks. So we're going to have to stream that together. We said we were going to be doing that. So that'll be a lot of fun. We're going to do the Selection Sunday and then fill out our brackets. And I don't know. Maybe we'll figure something out. Maybe we could do a giveaway. I don't know. But that should be fun to do that as well.
Yeah. Boomer, we got a couple Boomer Sooners in there. Jedi, Nick Howard, Playboy's a Boomer Sooner as well. I had a lot. That's one thing I'll say. I got a lot of Sooners followers in my streams. A lot of Sooners.
Cranium says hair versus hair, but he's got no hair.
I got no hair, Richard.
How's that work? I got to get rid of the moss, and then
I got nothing to lose there. Nothing.
Asia says she's rooting for me all the way. Well, Asia, you got to support me. You got to vote.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk about Entertain and I facing off in the finals.
It's been rumored.
Because we're on different sides of the bracket. It could happen.
Oh, Skins Fan All Day, thank you so much for the super chat. He says Skins Fan All Day, 100% on that Tuesday night show. I have a couple people lined up, but I'm definitely going to have you on. I'm going to ask you in the near future. You will be on the channel for sure on that Tuesday night show.
That's not what he said. He said he wants to do a collab with Gus.
Oh, with Gus! Oh, I gotta find Gus. I don't know where he is, but I'll get back to you on that, Skins fan all day. Talk about $5 wasted. But
I know. I love Skins fan all day. I love him. He's adorable. He's in the next Sexy 16, by the way. We will do this again because it seems like it's a pretty popular thing. He thought he could take it all the way. You know, there's some other guys that I didn't want to do 64. It would have taken forever.
Yeah.
We could come up with another 16, but I love the guy. But I had to bust Stones there. I know he met with you guys, but he said with us, and it's
the only problem I have. I would love to have a weekly guest on the nonsense stream. The only problem I have is the internet's choppy sometimes when you have two people. Whenever I've had a third person on, the internet is unbearable. It's so choppy. Otherwise, I would always have a guest on the nonsense stream. That's the only problem I have with having a third person.
Yeah, we did that. We did that once. Not the nonsense thing, but you and I did the stream of Mustard Bus.
Yeah, it was choppy. Yeah.
It was choppy.
And I've done that with Rover and Jet Central, and it's the same thing. That's the only thing. Otherwise, I would always be more than willing to have a third person on that show. But
the subscriber Sexy 16, though. I mean, we don't know what you look like. It's hard to say. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be tough. It'd be tough with this. You'd have to put pictures up there.
Yes, Playboy. There are definitely a lot of hipsters in Brooklyn. There's no doubt about it. I live in Greenpoint, and I actually like Williamsburg. There's a lot of trendy spots, a lot of nice bars. But yeah, there's a lot of hipsters in Williamsburg for sure.
Watching here, I got the NBA. I got the damn NBA package. Why am I not watching that right now? There we go. Oh, that's they're showing a replay. I'm listening to you. I just
no. We're gonna tune out anyway. We went a little later than we normally do, but let's see what we got here. We go by personality. Gokwon says. So yeah, I mean, but who votes on it? Do the YouTubers vote on that? Because it's really like, how does that gonna work? Like, the subscribers are gonna vote on themselves? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, that'd be more difficult.
Maybe we'd have to get a panel of YouTubers in the stream to vote on the subscribers.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everyone, don't forget to share, please, and help these guys out. They're both straight G's. Cooper, we appreciate that, my man. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Cooper. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Much appreciated.
But, yeah, we're going to be tuning out, guys. Richard, hair versus hat. If Baddog... Oh! Yeah, but I don't want to shave my hair. I feel like it's a lot. I mean, Baddog goes to work every day without a hat. So he has much...
I do. I go to work every day without a hat. I mean, it's not...
It's much less...
I shave my head at the beginning of the damn stream.
Yeah, it's much less...
You want to see my head? Go. I say it all the time. I was like, show your head, show your... I'm like, go to Sperm Cells Twitter. It's a picture of me without my hat on.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still risking way more.
Even when I had hair, guys, even when I had moss, and believe it or not, I did have moss like Chris. I had a great freaking head of hair when I was younger. Alopecia gets the best of us, okay? But I wore a hat then. All right? I wore a hat all the time. I didn't even show the damn moss. I've always worn a hat. It has nothing to do with me losing my hair. I just feel more comfortable with a hat on my head. I always have.
He's a hat guy.
I'm a hat guy.
Bad Dog versus Bert's Moss. That's a good matchup. I'd live in Breezy Point if it weren't too damn far from everything else. Playboy says, yeah. Where do you live? Well, I don't want to give you your address, but Big Blue Wrecking Crew. Dog had Fabio here. Chris, let's tussle, you freaking hog molly goobly goo. Joe Lutz said. I still am getting used to Joe Lutz's new picture. So because it looks very similar when you look at it quick to Sexy Goat's picture.
It does.
So I'm like, oh, I thought it was
Yeah, Richard Crane just... No, I know you have. I know everybody. Everybody's seen my damn head. It's not, Someone just said, why don't you shave your head? I did. My head is shaved. Look, there's no sideburns. There's no nothing. I shave it. I do. I don't bick it. That's too much damn time. But I do shave it.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work.
Seedlings there just is a reminder of what that used to be able to grow out.
Right. Let me ask you this. When you were first...
We'll get more into the hair tomorrow.
Let me ask you this. When you were first on YouTube... I know that you canceled your channel for a while, but when you first were on YouTube, did you have hair?
Yes.
It wasn't shaved or anything. It was
Yep, I had hair. I still wore a hat.
Okay.
I definitely had. I mean, it was starting to go.
Okay.
I had hair.
Okay. Yeah,
I didn't have the divot in the back of the head that I have now.
All right, guys, that is the signal. We're gonna close this out. I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you for Bad Dog for coming on. And
Yes.
we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Just tune in. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe, ring the bell, go into the description, and sub them up. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
Yes.
For nonsense.
And love you guys. Again, thank you so much for joining, Chris. I really appreciate you having me on your channel. Great stream tonight. And, yeah, see you guys tomorrow for some nonsense. You don't want to miss it. And with that, we'll see you tomorrow night. We are out. Peace!